on the 19th. Now these are all similar on like in the evening. Instead of 6:05 on the 18th, you got to subtract 3 minutes. 6:02 on the 19th. That's Friday. So 6:02, in the same way at 12 minutes after 11, Friday night, you're going to hear this thing hit, both inside and outside. Now Uranus stops on the 20th, that's Saturday, and so that's an important day. And 5:59 p.m. you get your first hit of Uranus and Mercury. And you know, you could stop talking. I noticed driving was very difficult. People are quite chaotic. They can't make up their minds. They can't decide right or left or this or that. There's interruptions. So this is going to make driving very difficult. I would not leave my house to go someplace within, 20 minutes of any of these times, because it'll be on the angle in Hawaii. Probably won't be too much difference anywhere else. Depends on the time zone, see. If you got your Sky Mirror app, Sky Mirror Astrology app, you know it. Anyway, on Saturday the 20th, 5:59 p.m. Now it could be quite strong. And then 11:09 p.m. You'll probably be up, huh? If you're not up at 11:09 p.m. Saturday night, something will wake you up. A lot of people will have trouble sleeping because their mind won't calm down. They can't stop listening to the universal mind. The mad monkey keeps making words. There's another one, the worst one, 4:52 a.m. the morning of the 21st. Early wake up. And then 11:25 a.m. on the 21st. Now this goes on, huh? And you can sit down and calculate anywhere you want from there. I start with the 20th, 5:59. Just call it 6. And then call it 10 after 11 p.m. 6 p.m., 10 after 11 p.m., 4:55 a.m. in the morning, 11:25 a.m. And if you're working backwards from there, you add 3 minutes. On the 21st, subtract 3 minutes from each of the times. On the 22nd, subtract 6 minutes, and so on. The whole thing kicks back 3 or 4 minutes every day, the way the earth turns and the clocks are. So if you find you're not getting Alzheimer's, you're not starting to stutter, you're having trouble walking and your car suddenly quits, expect that stuff, And now you know when there will be, huh? You know that 6 p.m. is a kind of a crappy time. But if you're watching it, it's part of the spectacle. You can have a little fun with this. It's the first time I've ever seen Uranus stop in the sky in square to Mercury stopping in the sky. Watch the kids. A lot of kids will get into trouble. If you're going to mess with electricity, keep one hand in your pocket. It's in the connections, But the less you try to do around these 4 times, the less trouble you'll get into. You don't want to start things on charts that have this Uranus-Mercury right on these 4 angles. You're just looking for trouble. All right, enough. Let's go check the sky mirror and see what it's like for the next 10 days. Hey, what's coming up in the next 10 days, huh? I'm going to call this the week of interrupted communication and transportation. A week of the shakies and the jitters. It is strange because in the midst of it all, here's this nasty square, see? Here's Mercury. He's having a tough time. Every time he tries to talk or go someplace, here's Uranus and the battery's dead. But look at Uranus. He's raging. There's tornadoes. There's earthquakes. Probable hurricane down in Baja, Mexico. Probably affect Southern California. Mars and Jupiter. There's a lot of guys lining up here, heat waves. But in the middle of it all, strangely, here's Jupiter and Neptune and Saturn and Pluto and Venus, and they're all in a big, you could see the trines, the trines and the sextiles here, 60 degrees. Well, that's ease and relaxation, and everything's fine, and and then bang, the square hits, and they got the jitters, and there's interruptions in your communications. Okay, so we got a regular rhythm here, and we're going to run the moon around the edge of the planetary pattern and see what happens as it makes angles to things. Bad angles in red, squares and oppositions. Good angles in blue, sextiles and trines. And if you're here on Thursday in the evening, well, you got a square to Neptune. There's bad smells and there's confusion. Friday morning, though, it straightens out. Here's a trine to Uranus. And the higher mind comes out. And technical things, and the media is working, and you see something that makes some sense. Early Friday morning, Friday night, late. It's actually Saturday morning here, about 2-3 a.m. There's a nice trine to Venus. And there's sweets here, sex, goodies. So your Friday morning starts with some brotherhood and ends with some love and some sweets. Not bad, huh? It continues pretty much through breakfast on Saturday the 20th, when the moon moves into Capricorn. And when it does, everything changes. Well, you're going to get a 5-degree hit right here. This is about lunchtime, middle of the day, and everything's okay. The judge says fine. It's fine that we did this and that. And the priest, artist, doctors, yes, it's all fine, it's good. And Jupiter's there. Oh yes, the lawyers, everybody agreed it's lawful, And something going on? Well, there's Pluto. And Saturday night, Sunday morning, you're in the firecracker zone. The moon goes by Pluto. It's a little panicky. Yeah, Saturday felt good. Everybody was in agreement. They were making a deal. Legalize marijuana? Well, if we make enough money. So it goes from a suspicious calm to a panicky, electric zap. Saturday night, early Sunday morning. I don't know if you're going to get through. You're not going to sleep late Sunday morning. There's bells, there's interruptions, there's horns, there's kids, there's... So this is a really upsetting Sunday. Really starts Saturday. As soon as the moon goes into Capricorn, you'll start feeling it. But Saturday night and through Sunday, oh boy. Watch out for those times. Every time it hits one of these 4 angles, it's going to get loud. But here's when it's loudest in a way, is when the moon goes by Pluto. It squares Uranus and opposes Mercury. And it's all happening Saturday night, Sundays. It'll be like that every weekend, for a while. Sorry. It tails off a little bit as you go through Sunday the 21st, but doesn't change too much until Monday. After breakfast, the moon shifts into Aquarius right here. There's the old full moon here at 0. So Monday morning's a full moon time. Yeah, early Monday morning, stuff's going to happen. And it's a different vibe. That 2 Capricorn full moon we had wears off back here. That was part of your lunacy on Saturday afternoon. And we got a new full moon, a new paradigm, a new bunch of pictures, a new feeling for the next month from this full moon. It's very independent. But it is a full moon, and it's not exactly an easy Monday morning. Tuesday, the 23rd, moon still in Aquarius, starts with a nice sextile to Uranus. And all the electrical stuff works in the internet, and this isn't so bad. We're not all that isolated. The higher mind is working. Gee, can't we all just get together and fix this? Maybe, I don't know. That's the vibes through Tuesday, the 23rd. On Wednesday morning, after breakfast, the moon shifts into Pisces right here. And It starts with a square to Venus. Ugh. Can't get no satisfaction, no pleasure. Everything, yep, it's just like that Wednesday morning early. But Wednesday night, the moon's going by Neptune. And it just piles up all the agreements from these other guys. They're all in cahoots. The lawyers and the judges and the doctors and the corporations and the rich people and the selfish people and the powers that be, Pluto. And they're going to reinvent things again here, folks. And you know who they're leaving out, don't you? Yes, they're leaving out Uranus, all us individuals, the environment, the Aquarian age stuff. Screw those old hippies. We're going to make a deal. And there it is, Wednesday. We'll see what happens. This could be religious people asserting themselves aggressively. Those guys in Egypt that want, the Muslim government. I don't know. We'll just see. You'll see what comes up here Wednesday night. But don't bite on this, because you're still on thin ice. Yep. Thursday, people continue to kind of coast along. Oh, everything's fine. On Friday the 26th, after lunchtime here, the moon shifts into Aries. You'll come out of that. Everything's fine. Play some music, vibes of Pisces into Aries. And suddenly, something's going on. Yes, it's Friday night. There's a square to Jupiter. Too much rain, thunderclouds. Uh-oh, we better do something. There is a trine to the sun here that happens Friday in the afternoon and evening. Good time to do some preventative work, because it's going to get rocky again. It's going to get strange. You're going into that Friday, that weekend time, huh? And here's more whirlies, tornadoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, eek! Power's out. Can't get around. Can't drive around. Can't talk on the telephone. What is that? Solar flare? I don't know. Uranus always likes to surprise us. Whatever it is, the sense of panic starts early Saturday morning. Here's a square to Pluto, the 12.5 degree stuff. Starts with Pluto, Saturday morning, goes through to Saturday, the middle of the day, with the square to Mercury and the conjunction to Uranus. And doggone that media, that electric company, those satellites, those dastardly revolutionary and tree-hugging hippies. Well, maybe we all just ought to be tree-hugging hippies and then see how that feels a little bit. And maybe you'll see why some of them are going to rage some. At least they're going to speak out and they're not going to shut up. And some of it is going to be about Mercury. I'll tell you one thing on this thing. I already noticed people talk too loud. They play their instruments too loud. They play, remember the boom box thing? Turn that thing off. Anyway, here it starts early Saturday morning, goes pretty much through Saturday. First half of Sunday also. It changes there when you get to, just before dinner time, the moon shifts into Taurus. Things settle down. You go back into everything's okay. Neptune, Jupiter, Mars, Pluto. Yeah, it's a little bit cold, but, opposing Saturn. I don't know about the judge. Monday morning, there could be some delays. But everybody kind of coasts through it on a wing and a prayer, kind of like they did back here on Wednesday. Anyway, crazy week, huh? Yep. About location. Here's the heat zone right through Los Angeles. Here's power outages through the dam over there in Las Vegas. A lot of air conditioning goes on, power goes out. And here finally is hurricanes coming up through here. Where is that? About San Felipe they cross. Uh-oh. Come back next week. Aloha.